Hello, good evening. I am so happy to be here. I'm glad that you are here. Thank you so much for taking the time. My name is Kelly Dunlap. I am a lifestyle wellness and fat loss coach, and I am here this evening to talk to you about the thyroid. Now, some of you might think, well, I don't have a thyroid issue, so, I don't really need to watch this. But trust me, you want to watch this because if you're somebody that stresses a lot, you may be developing one and you don't even know it. And we're going to talk a lot about that. So I have a lot of notes here, lots of good stuff. And if you are catching the replay, awesome. And again, I usually don't take questions until the end, if there are any, because I'm definitely somebody that will get distracted and off track. So I'm just going to stay focused, stay on track, and get to the points. So again, we are going to talk about thyroid and some of the underlying issues that are going on that you may not even be aware of. And I'm hoping that you will get some aha moments from this, or even some affirmations, or even like a confirmation of maybe something that you have been suspecting. So let's get started. So pardon me, because I won't be staring at you the entire time. I have to look down at my notes because I have so many good things to share. Okay, so first of all, what I want to talk about is, I want to start with this, is that the thyroid is a sentinel organ. And what that means is sentinel as in the sentinel guards, okay, patrolling a castle. All right, so when the castle gets attacked, which are the first defenders to get killed? Yep, so the sentinel guards. Okay, so that said, one of the first organs that gets damaged by stress is the thyroid. So stress is one of those underlying issues. There's more, so keep watching. So when you are under stress, exposed to toxins, over-exercised, under or overfed, sleep deprived, or when your immune system is challenged, the adrenal and thyroid glands are the first organs to feel it and be negatively impacted. Now note, keep in your back pocket, I said adrenal glands, okay? So let me repeat that. When you are under stress, exposed to toxins, over-exercised, under or overfed, sleep deprived, or when your immune system is challenged, okay, the adrenal and thyroid glands are the first organs to feel negatively impacted, okay? That's huge. All right, so remember those, because we're going to kind of bounce back and forth between that and then my next topic. So let's chat about your gut. Okay, so nowadays there's a lot of talk about gut health, and as there should be, because the gut is your second brain. Okay, so the second brain, because your digestive tract is the most concentrated place of nervous system tissue in the body. Okay, so it is also the seat of the immune system. And more than 60% of your immune cells are in the digestive tract. Okay, you guys follow me here, I hope? Okay, so think about this. All day long, we have to turn foreign material, meaning food, into molecules that the body will not reject. All right? So most people are A-okay with breaking food down, but this is what I want you guys to hear. So important. So some are okay, their body breaks it down, easy breezy, and, but others are not. Other people's digestive tracts have issues. Mine being one of them. I have had what we're going to talk about next, and I believe that I was able to reverse it because I feel so much different. But I am still on medication, but I still take these other steps as well because I know how important it is. Okay, so now listen there, try to visualize this. Between every cell, it has a skin. So where the cells are packed together, there are these gap junctions. And what happens is, so visualize like a bridge, I guess you would say. And, this is all solid and together, but then there's this little junction that kind of happens, right? So you see the separation here? They spread apart, okay, which is not good. So this is caused from things like stress, certain foods like nightshades, okay? For example, nightshades like tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, all peppers, those sorts of things. You've probably heard that before. They have an effect on digestive function. So if you've heard people say, well, you should stay away from nightshades if you have a thyroid issue, it's because of the digestive function, okay? So these gap junctions can open up, all right? Just like I had showed you. And then the particles leak through into the bloodstream, hence causing what is called leaky gut, okay? So some of this may be new news to you. Some of this may be like, oh, now I understand it. You may have heard the term leaky gut, but not know what the heck that meant. Like me, I never really understood, what the hell is leaky gut? Like, I don't get that. But now I totally understand, you know, that it is just a breakdown, okay, that happens in the digestive tract. So listen up. So let's visualize this. Visualize like a calendar, you know, that you would strain your spaghetti noodles in. So the gut becomes leaky from the certain foods, stress, medications. So if you're somebody that's on a ton of medications, I'm going to tell you, let's go on medications for a second. I remember being young and naive and not really understanding medicine, not really understanding the whole relationship. Like, doctors used to just hand me scripts and I thought that was normal. That is not normal. It is not okay. You do not need to be on all of these prescriptions. Okay, maybe there are some things that you can't, but there's a lot of other routes that you can take. You do not have to be on medication. Like I was on, what do you call it? Oh, an antidepressant for years. But then after doing a lot of, you know, self-improvement and putting the time and the work in and letting go and forgiving and releasing and those types of things, I don't need that anymore. Okay, so anyway, so back to what I was talking about with the gut. So medications, then these particles that would normally not pass into the bloodstream, the body sees those as an invader, like a fungus, a virus, bacteria, whatever. Okay, it will then attack those food particles, make antibodies, right? Because it's thinking, oh, we got it, you know, we're being attacked. And here's where the issues come in, you guys. Now, the body is loaded with antibodies. Okay, so try to follow me here. I don't want to get too sciencey. Remember, I said I'm not going to try to take you to science class, but you do have to have some of this understanding. So that's why I said you may want to rewatch again if you're not totally wrapping around what I'm getting at. Okay, so now the body's loaded with the antibodies, right? And then it will say, hey, that protein on this thyroid gland looks like that particle that we just saw invade us. Okay? Then the antibodies start to attack the thyroid, and this is how things develop like Hashimoto's, like an autoimmune issue, amongst others. Okay? So just so that you kind of have an understanding, here's the thing. If you're just joining what I talked about, is your underlying issues of your thyroid is mostly has to do with stress, your gut health, and also your adrenals. So we're going to talk a little bit about adrenals, but I could go so in depth with adrenals and I don't want to get you all confused and all that. So the fix isn't necessarily treating the thyroid, but treating the gut. Your doctor more than likely is not going to tell you this, just like he's not going to tell you to stay away from like gluten and dairy and nightshades and things like that. Some doctors won't even acknowledge leaky gut. Some doctors won't even acknowledge like adrenal fatigue, depending on the type of doctor you go to. You know, if you go to like a normal internal medicine doctor, they're just not trained in that way. They don't see things like that. Okay, so like I said, the fix isn't necessarily just fixing the thyroid. It's you got to treat that gut. That's why about a year ago I started to make my own kombucha, and I really feel that that helped a lot because you know it's basically like a drinkable probiotic. I took out nightshades. I was just following different protocols. Now I have a protocol. For example, if you were somebody that, let's say we suspect that you might have a thyroid issue, or we know that you have a thyroid issue, I have a certain protocol with working with me that I call the 4 R's, which is basically where we remove the insults. Okay, so we take out things from your diet, then we replace, then we repopulate and we repair. And what I mean by that is, like, repopulate, for example, is that's when we start putting like the good probiotics, like a really good probiotic back in, and things like that. So it's a process, just like everything is, right? Okay, so here's some suggestions that maybe you want to write these down. I've talked about this in my post, I think earlier last week. Avoid soy, grains, particularly gluten. Okay, dairy. Okay, we talked about the nightshades just a few minutes ago. Try that for like 7 to 14 days and see if you notice a difference. And this is even for those of you that are on medication. Okay, because you should and could be doing things outside of just taking these medicines. Okay, I could get into the whole, T4, T3, T free, free, whatever. There's, it gets, but you don't want to hear all that crap. It's not going to make sense. It just doesn't, yeah. It's overwhelming, and it's like, what? Wait a minute. T what? Let's not even talk about it. Then you'll shut down, and you'll never want to hear me talk again. Okay, so now I'm going to go there. Okay, so, in addition, there are some herbs that you can use as well to support your adrenals, because another nugget here, like I mentioned, is that the adrenal issues usually come before the thyroid issue. Okay? So those of you that are burning your candle on both ends, be careful. The main thing is here, just like I said yesterday, you need your rest, you need your relaxation, you need your restorative work, you need your shutdown time. It's not all about do, go, more is better. You're doing the opposite of what you really need to do. Okay, so like I had mentioned, working with me, and I'm going to tell you how you can have the opportunity to do that. I would get way more in depth with this on a one-on-one level. So, and not everybody can, if I said, oh, there's these specific herbs, and then I don't know you personally and your issues, I might tell you something that would work for your thyroid, but then screw up something else. So that's why this is not a cookie cutter type thing when it comes to my system and my program and my protocols, because it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, so here's the other thing. People will say, oh, take iodine. And I have, even, I think there were some comments even on my personal page before about, oh yeah, if you have a thyroid issue, just take iodine. No, okay? Don't just freely take iodine. You can make the situation worse. Do not do that, okay? That is, if there's one thing, don't get off of this and say, you know what? Oh gosh, you reminded me, I should start taking my iodine again because Sally Sue said that iodine's going to help my thyroid issue. Don't do it, okay? Because you could make it worse. It can accelerate the thyroid damage. It's not good, okay? So, we talked about stress, gut health, adrenals. We're going to talk a little bit more about the stress and all that again. So, when it comes to the stress, that all comes down to the adrenal health. And like I said, if you went to your doctor and said, hey, I was just watching my friend and she was talking about like there's this thing called adrenal fatigue or burnout or whatever, and he'd look at you like, adrenal what? Yeah, she's crazy. Okay, because that's how internal medicine doctors are. They don't think like that. They're just going to say, let me look at your thyroid. But here's the thing. I'm going to explain this to you, why I am so passionate about what I am doing and why I got these certifications, because I developed this thyroid issue, but nobody could tell me why. They just said, here's a script. See ya. I wanted to know why. Why did this happen to me? Why is my body doing what it is doing? I wanted somebody to tell me, well, I can't pinpoint exactly, but there's a good possibility that it happened because, but nobody could tell me that. So I had to figure it out on my own. by myself. And that's when, about a year ago, I went on my mission and said, I'm going to go on an autoimmune type protocol diet. I'm going to take out the nightshades. I'm going to make kombucha. And I did start to feel better. Okay. Then, started to learn about the gluten and the dairy and all this stuff. So it was very cool that when I got in line with this particular certification, it was absolutely just right up my alley, because I was like, yes, and yes, and yes. I agree with that. I'm on that side of the fence. I get that. I was that. I am that. I do that. Oh, and now I can do that. So you see what I'm saying? Don't you want to know why? That's what it's all about. I wanted to know why. But no doctor could tell me that. Just take your script. Go get your blood work. I'll see you in a month. Okay, really, why? So it was extremely annoying. And as far as, lifestyle goes, it's huge. It is huge. Okay. So stress, what you're eating, who you're surrounding yourself by, what types of food you're eating, that sort of thing. It could be even, simple things like plastic, you know what I mean? Like putting plastic in the microwave and that affecting things, So, all right, now we're going to go into, the stress triggers the adrenal. Okay, so let me just back up here. So your stress needs to be your stress needs to be reduced. This is because you don't want to get into those adrenal issues, right? Okay, so here's the deal. Let me just rattle these off. Stress triggers the adrenal hormone, stress hormone, cortisol, which we talked about last night. Okay, cortisol is a stress hormone, and it's not always your friend. It can be, depending on who it's communicating with, but it's generally not your friend, okay? So, because cortisol triggers the flight or fight response, okay? So then over time, your cortisol will then lower your thyroid hormones. Boy, these words are getting me all tongue-tied. Right? So, the dirty truth, this is why weight loss is so hard, okay, when you have a thyroid issue, okay? There's all these things that go into play. It's not as easy as just taking this pill and so on and so forth. Don't you want to fix and repair? I know I did. I know that I had helped to heal my gut through the things that I had done. And you have to be your own personal advocate to do that. And, have a little help on your side. So that said, as I had mentioned yesterday, maybe you are not aware, but I have been talking a lot lately about this program that I've created. I'm super excited. Maybe some of you have already tapped into to the form, but I'm going to be launching my first launch of the Metabolism Reboot Academy. Okay, and it's very personalized one-on-one coaching. It also has a group dynamic to it as well. And if you are interested in being considered as a beta tester for this, then you can go to the metabolismrebootacademy.com, and it will give you more information on what my program consists of, okay? And also about 20 different questions. Take your time, fill that form out, submit it. Then I'm going to be contacting everybody that has filled out the form, and we'll have a discovery call, and we'll see if you're a good fit for the program. Trust me, I know some people are thinking, gosh, well, how much is this going to go? It's 5 weeks, and because it is a beta test, I am significantly discounting it because of that. And you're wondering, well, what is the beta test? Because not everybody understands that language. A beta test is basically testers, people that, I'm running the program just like I normally would, but I will ask for feedback, testimonials, that sort of thing. So you're getting it at a highly discounted rate because I'm going to ask you that favor at the end. Well, how did you like it? That sort of thing. And it just also helps me to better the program, to tweak it, You are basically accepting and allowing me to make any mistakes, which I hope to make none. But you see what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. So, excuse me. I'm only accepting a limited number of people. Make sure that you have your form filled out as soon as possible. I'm guessing that I will probably I'll probably accept the forms through, I was thinking Sunday of this week. That way it'll give everybody some time. I have 2 more of these that I'm doing this week. Tomorrow I think I'm going to talk about, I have 2 more awesome subjects. So tomorrow we're going to talk about probably your keeping your hunger, energy, and cravings in check. And then the next one, I think, is what everybody's going to find extremely fascinating, and how you can utilize your menses cycle to burn fat. It's pretty interesting. It's very interesting. You'll be mind blown. So again, it's the metabolismrebootacademy.com. And if you're interested, go there, check it out. And again, it'll tell you, what I'm offering. It's very one-on-one. It's very individualized. Because like I said, this cannot be cookie cutter. And that's why most programs don't work for people. It just doesn't. Because they're not looking at the cellular communication. That sounded funny, like cell phone, but it's literally your biofeedback, your cells, your hormones, and how food speaks to your particular, your system. It's your own metabolic blueprint. And yes, there are certain categories that some people fit into, which is just a guide and a tool, but that is like a starting point that gets us to your own solution. Okay? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I so hope that you got some value. And once again, please give me a 1 if you found this valuable. And give me a 2 if you felt a little bit confused. Just so that helps me. It gives me a little bit of feedback. You can give me both 1 and a 2 if you want. Like, yes, it was informative and I got some of it, but, maybe it was a little bit confusing as well. And your feedback helps me tremendously. I hope, once again, that you do find this valuable, informative. Feel free to add people to this group. I prefer that you add them through going to kellydunlaplifestyle.com, but I am not against anybody just adding them in the group. The reason is because I want to be able to communicate with you through another avenue, which is through the email. And, that's very important to me, because I just feel like it's just, if I say, hey, I'm going to spit this out to them, or, I'm going to give this special offer, or whatever it is, I just want to be able to have that. So email addresses are super important. So if you do add somebody and you add them that easy manual way, then maybe just shoot me a private message and said, hey, I added so-and-so in, and here's her email address. Okay. But all right, you guys, once again, thank you so much. I don't really think I saw any type of questions, but if you do have a question, feel free to spit it out, and then I'm going to jump off and get ready for the evening and go to bed. I get tired early, I tell you. Not much longer. I'm almost to my 3rd trimester now, so she will be here soon. So, all right, I'll just wait a second and see if there's any questions. If not, we'll just sign off, and then we'll just go our merry way. All right, so I don't see any. So I'm hoping that meant that you understood what I was saying, what I was getting at, that I kept it pretty simple, that you understood it. And I do hope, once again, that you got something out of it and maybe thought, oh gosh, I never thought about that. Okay? All right, well, have a wonderful night. I will continue to watch the post to see if you have any questions. You can always private message me. Don't forget to go to the metabolismrebootacademy.com and fill out the form if you want to be considered as a beta test applicant. All right? See you soon, guys. Bye.